Okay.
What would you do if I played turn 1 and 2 with you?
All right. And so one of these. All right. Well, the cameras are getting real dark and saturated here now.
Oh, sure.
And one is. There we go. All right. Let's go to the overhead here. Let's see the dice rolling.
I don't want to see the dice rolling.
Oh, Tim.
God.
All right. Well, I don't care what you want to see. I'm asking to see the damn dice rolling.
Well, you didn't get to see it, so I hope you're happy.
I hope you're sad.
I'm very sad. Have been for a while. All right. Not sure who's on the play and who's on the draw, but
Well,
I
Chad
know
went
Chad's
back
going
fast,
to 6.
so I think he's probably on the play here. Looking at All right, you get to inject one card into modern. What card do you just all of a sudden becomes modern legal?
Pretty good job.
Shahrazad.
All right, well, it's a weak answer, but all right.
How about that game?
You can't just, like, throw that at somebody. You can present it as, like, a topic of discussion. But you just put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Of course the answer's not going to be strong.
Either way,
I mean, that was not even reasonable.
I think it's pretty reasonable. Have you ever played with that card?
Yeah, you play a sub game.
Yeah.
I'm
That card
I'm pretty-
single-handedly
I'm-
destroyed my Ford Taurus.
Oh. I think your refusal to sleep at reasonable times destroyed your Ford Taurus. This is an ongoing problem in your life.
I don't think
All
so.
right.
I think I sleep pretty well.
Chad's gonna. That's a lie. He's gonna put his scry at the bottom here.
Yeah, they're never going to unban preordain. You must be out of your mind.
What are you doing over there? This is all John Douglas.
Whew.
All the microphone noises you're hearing there. All right. Got a.
Taylor tried to strangle me with my headphone cord there.
I'm pretty close. Got a Scalding Tarn into a Steam Vents. Classic Modern turn 1 into a Delver. And here goes a Windswept Teeth into the graveyard for Chad. And gosh, all his decks are so beautiful. We're gonna see another expedition come out here. What?
What? I didn't say anything.
What? Yeah.
What?
if I actually did something to
Him to Torok would be a good one to inject into modern.
a magician,
Wow. Is that card reasonable?
So it's turn 2,
Okay.
which is nice.
All right. Here's an Overgrown Tomb.
If Jace were legal, he wouldn't see any play.
You don't think you think you could unban Jace the Mind Sculptor?
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine.
All right. And we do have enough cards, enough copies of him to Turok floating around out here in the world that
Oh, sure.
it wouldn't be oppressively expensive. Probably go up to $2-3.
Yeah. So the card is exceptional, and I don't think they'd ever reprint it because of like the random discard. But I think it's safe, and I think it's mana intensive enough to where like if you want to have double black and you don't want to commit to like heavy black mana base,
Like a Gray Merchant style mana
right,
base.
you're gonna be taking some serious damage to cast that spell, and like burn decks just aren't gonna care.
So, I think Jason's going to tackle this Grimflayer issue head on.
Was
don't-
that a pun?
No.
I don't understand.
No, it's not a pun.
Is he gonna bolt it?
No, I have no idea what removal spell he has in his hand, but I think he's interested in casting that removal spell.
Electric Brutality, when it escalates once, modes will be -2, -2, and you discard instant or sorcery. Alright, well, just make that easy.
Okay. So yeah.
All right, so this
So
Delver's...
he did kill the Grimflayer. I don't know that he really tackled it head on or anything like that, but he killed it.
Yeah. So
Is that what you meant?
Collective. Yeah, he killed it. That's what I meant.
All right.
I
Man down.
John Douglas, rare form tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it while you can. I don't know if he's drunk, if he's
Maybe. You never know.
he could have literally just like snorted a bunch of Benadryl before he came in here, and he's loopy as hell.
That's a possibility.
That's a thing John Douglas has been
Oh,
known to
we're
do.
collective brutalitying back. Killed the.
Alright.
All right, we're coming right back at you. Taking a leak has been announced.
And Chad took a leak there.
How do you feel? What do you feel about that play? Do you like that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I want to know, so this is a Snapcaster in hand. And so, Jason has an interesting set of plays here. He's kind of forcing the issue with a Liliana. So Chad only has Liliana.
So Liliana, I think, was 100% better play that turn.
Yeah, by a long shot.
So I'm not a huge fan. I like minusing the Liliana there. If he has a bolt, great. You 2-for-1 him. And then you have this.
So if you Liliana here and you minus, he's going to cast this Snapcaster in a turn to just attack the Liliana out of existence.
Right.
I think.
Unless he has something else that he wants to do. So he has the option. Let's see what's in hand. It's clearly not a bolt because he fetched a basic island.
Right? I think he's fine with Snapcaster Mage being a ambush Viper here to get the Liliana down.
Sure. The problem with Snapcaster is if you don't get the value on the front end, these lingering souls just make it completely invalidated.
Yeah, pretty irrelevant.
Passing turn.
I think killing Liliana was value enough on the front end, though.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know what Durdle's planning on doing. I don't know what his card in hand is.
Right, but he did not bring back the Lingering Souls.
Yeah, no lingering souls, which leads me to believe it's an instant that he wants to cast.
Right. Alright. Alright, we're going to find out what the
Land. What is Durdle doing?
land. I don't know.
This is just bad play.
That's just a straight up misplay.
I mean, he's had several this game.
Several?
Several.
The Liliana on the wrong turn?
So the Liliana on the wrong turn, the Collective Brutality on the wrong turn,
Sure.
pitching the Gavany Township's probably the wrong call.
Sure. And if he chooses to hold the Collective Brutality, he gets Gavany Township in play.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where Modern's such a complex format that,
So he has this forest in hand that we know of. He also has another card in hand.
Alright.
He's playing the forest, which
And
is
then just cast
100% a
Lingering
bad
Souls.
call.
Well, Jason knew about it. So
Sure,
he's
but
not-
like you're playing Collective Brutality, you're playing Liliana. Like you want to give yourself like that buffer, and you don't need the 5th mana because you pitched your Gavany Township.
Yeah.
There's also a mana leak and a dispel. Alright, so this Tarmogoyf's going to bite the dust, but that's not the relevant board presence here. It's these 1/1 spirits. They're going to trade with Snapcaster Mages all day.
Yep. I don't think Jason's gonna offer the trade. I think he's just gonna like hold back
Sure.
and let Chad go at him for 1 a turn.
I mean, he can go at him for 2 a turn pretty easily.
He takes the Tarmogoyf down, and then if Chad wants to block,
There's not a lot of reason to block when you're ahead on life total and you get the initiative. Oh, but he wants to block anyway.
all right.
So Durdle on the draw go plan.
And he's drawn a card. So, oh man, here's a young Peasy.
Yeah, Peasy's going to be huge this game.
Yeah, I think.
Unless Durdle has the removal spell right now.
I don't think Jason's gonna cast it. Whoa, is he just gonna get him into play?
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting. See, now I would have offered the attack with the Snapcaster Mage there.
yeah, if I had a Peasy, sure.
So we know Jason has a land, but Chad has to assume it's an instant.
Correct. I mean, there's nothing he can do to play around it.
Right. I think he holds both the spirits back at this point.
Unless he has a removal spell.
Yeah, we don't know what's in Chad's hand. He's been playing it close to the felt. We're going to have a mixed metaphor here.
It might not be a land because he's content to just play every land that he draws. So
Right. We can assume. Well, maybe it was. Oh man, maybe he's like next leveling Jason by like slamming the irrelevant land and then holding the other ones.
I guess. Well, we've got a spell. Collective Brutality. Pitch a land.
All right. See,
Man,
if he had that
this removal
forest,
spell
he
for the
could've-
PZ is huge.
If he had a forest there, he could have.
Pitch the Forest. Still had a card in hand.
We'll pitch the forest and get a Thoughtseize on Jason, or a Duress rather.
So if I like what
Oh, man,
Durdle
is that-
did
okay,
there.
There's a bolt.
Bolt's not great here. I mean, it's okay.
I don't think Jason wants either of these cards. I think they're both going to go to the bottom.
Yeah. So that's the reason that Lingering Souls is so good, is because traditional removal is just very meh.
Right. I wonder if Jason has something like a is it Staticaster in the sideboard or something?
I know he's got Electrolyze as main.
Oh, really? Okay, so he's hunting for one of those. Or
Another Peasy was drawn.
Colgan's command would also just be a nut draw here.
Disfigure him. Man, he's not going to be happy with this then. All right.
Yeah.
So the turn where that matters may have been last turn. He can only draw an instant per turn. He doesn't have an instant in hand, or does he? Oh, he does. He drew the bolt.
Okay.
Well, then that
we watched
definitely
him put two
changes.
down. He top decked the bolt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. To be fair, Jason's at 6, which is not a ton. It's not the most
Here we go.
life I've ever seen. There's a
Murder's cut.
and a
Keeping the
land.
cut on top, man. Cutting this spirit is not where you want to be.
No.
But, man, if it has to happen, then you're perfectly
Right.
fine with it.
You got some blood in the cut. Just like my favorite song right now. I just can't not.
I believe you.
I'm going to build a black-red modern deck.
Don't
with
do
blood
that.
red and
Don't.
and Murderous Cut and Young Peasies.
Man, if Durdle drew a Lingering Souls here, that's a great draw.
I think he passed the turn.
Another bolt. That's strong.
So this leaves the cut for like a Tarmogoyf or something.
Yeah, just some insurance.
Here's a big attack for 5.
Down to 7. I mean, a Lingering Souls, and he's totally back in this game, though.
And the thing here is, against the deck with no lightning bolts, a life total of 6 is just all of it. Like, it might as well be 12.
Yeah.
Against a lightning bolt deck, 6 makes you, like, really nervous.
There's the Lingering Souls. That's very strong here.
All right.
4
So
spirits.
Chad's going to let it linger. Because he really has to here.
Because they don't have haste. Yes.
Um,
Take.
take and hope to top deck the Gavany Township.
Yeah. Although it doesn't actually save you here because Jason has drawn a third lightning bolt.
I have a mental block where I feel bad drawing multiples of like a card.
He's blocking one.
So Jay's gonna go to 5.
Hedging his losses
That's
here.
interesting. Well, here's what he's done here is now that he can kill Jason in 2 swings. So bolt you end a turn, right?
I don't think
Oh,
you need to do
okay,
anything
don't
in
do
a
that,
turn.
yeah,
Like
just-
you can just respond. You have enough mana.
Interesting. Interesting.
Sucks in the long game.
Well,
All right.
it was a pretty rough game for Durdle, but he has only himself to blame.
Yeah, I don't think he gave himself the best chances, but having terminate for the Tarmogoyf was pretty much so. Even if he keeps the Gavany Township and casts the Collective Brutality at a different time, I guess the Gavany Township could have made the spirits get way out of hand.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the
it was
two-
the
the first
Liliana
two-
that was the huge misplay.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is that like so? If he plays Liliana there instead,
Yeah, Liliana gets out of hand. Like, he gets to alt Liliana range.
I mean, I don't think it matters a ton against Jason's deck. But like,
I mean, it does.
Yeah, it's less about the alt and more about what you've done to get to the alt.
Sure.
So yeah, taking out. I mean, I don't know that you can go down to no discard if you're Chad, but you definitely want some more robust cards. Your Kitchen Finks, your Voice of Resurgence.
You want no discard. I mean, you want your Lilianas, but that's it.
Okay, so you take out discard for the robust threats that I'm talking about.
Sure. It's certainly an option. You might want to level out your removal suite. So you might want to play like
Abrupt Decay.
a Damnation. Abrupt Decay would be good,
Sure.
but like something that sweeps the board now that you know that he's got
got-
Peasies.
Yeah, the young Peasies. You got to answer that.
Some graveyard hate might be relevant here. I don't know that I would go full rest in peace, but if I don't have anything else to bring in, like, that's reasonable.
All right. So we got an interesting one going on in the chat here. Just talk about the Magic Online client, which can't say they upgraded that with the latest update when they changed the formatting on it visually.
Right.
I tried to get used to it, and I'm still having a hard time. They recently changed the hotkeys
Okay.
that like let you pass once or pass twice. You know what I mean?
I never use the hotkeys anyway. But
Um,
yeah.
It just helps the game like go much faster versus sliding the mouse all over the place.
Sure.
So yeah, I agree. It's hard to tie those two things together.
What things?
The paper and the online worlds.
It's not hard. It's just that Moto makes them too much money. So they won't do it.
Oh, so you think if they tied the Moto world to the paper world, it would?
Oh yeah, they'd lose a ton of money.
All right.
So I think for Moto, they should be like, it's $15 a month. You get 15 play tickets or whatever it is now,
Right.
and you have every card.
Interesting. How are we doing drafts?
You have to buy in a draft still.
Interesting. Okay. Hearthstone has a huge draw because you can play it to get the cards. You know what I mean? Even if you're bad.
Yeah.
Like I did laundry last night, and I had these 2 challenges where I had to be a shaman. I'm really bad at that class,
Okay.
and we had to play like 12 matches. And I hated it, but like I still did it because it like got me the gold that I need to like play and get cards or whatever. All right, here we go. Jason's with another turn 1 Scalding Tarn.
Down to 17.
So while fetching and watching people fetch and shuffle and stuff is painfully boring,
Yeah.
I think it's good for modern. I think having access to an aggressive mana base
Oh yeah, it's extremely important.
is important as a modern. So in Central Visions here, this seems like a hedge against the discard. I mean, it's
Yeah.
obviously very good, but I think Jason gets ahead on cards regardless of what's going on.
I don't think he should. So Chad's got like Tarmogoyf, and like 1-for-1 removal,
Okay.
which is just going to be neutral for Jason for the most part, unless Chad has to start burning removal spells on elemental tokens.
Uh-huh.
But then he's also got cards like Liliana and Lingering Souls, which generate much more than 1 card.
Okay.
So I don't think Jason should be getting ahead on cards without this Ancestral Vision.
Okay.
The reason the Ancestral Vision is so good is it lets him like break the parity of Chad's 1-for-1 removal.
Alright, so Jason's representing Spell Snare here.
So here's the thing with Tarmogoyf. Never run it out as a 1-2 against a Bolt deck.
Yeah, just a little bit of patience would have gone a long way there.
Absolutely.
Alright, so he's going to represent the Spell Snare. Jay's going to take a big draw step, lean back, think about it. And passes the turn. I think he was getting it out there. He's light on lands, which isn't helping him.
Yeah, I can't tell what his first land is,
Alright.
but he may be off of like a color.
Alright, here's Jason with a fetch land, and he's at 3 lands now. And when your opponent passes like that, you have to just imagine you're putting your foot on the gas.
Yeah, Jason's hand doesn't really lend itself to that, but we're gonna get to see what's in Durdle's hand here.
Here's your Gitaxian Probe with the life being paid. So we've got 2
Lots
Maelstrom
of
Pulse,
3 mana stuff and removal spells.
2 Maelstrom Pulse, Liliana, Murderous Cut, Lingering Souls, and is that a Path to Exile there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely don't want to path any creatures here.
Concur. The more I think about Path to Exile, the worse that card gets. Like,
Yeah,
In
so
the-
it's very strong in that it's can kill anything,
right.
but there is a much higher cost than it initially looks like.
Right. The decks that are coming out where like having it cost 1 is amazing are exactly the ones you don't want to cast it against.
Right.
The big mana aggressive decks or the big mana decks that your Tron decks, whatever, that's where it's fantastic. Where they just have an infinite amount of mana already, that's what their deck does.
Right.
Or like against a Primeval Titan, it's probably really, really, really good. Alright, so he's going to cast Snapcaster Mage here for just a card.
Which is
With,
weird.
With 5 cards in hand, I don't know that I wouldn't have casted for a Bolt. Like, I definitely agree with casting it. Like, let's get aggressive, but
Sure. Land here is huge. Like, being able to hit the Liliana plus kill the Snapcaster is a big, big deal.
right. And I would have just held the Snapcaster if like land is a potential. You know, casting Liliana, if he goes up on it, you're just like, all right. In response, Snapcaster Bolt, redirect to Liliana,
Sure.
attack Liliana down, discard, something. But you've gone at that point. He's gone 2 cards for 1 card, really.
Right. These Maelstrom Pulses might be a little aggressive out of the board. Oh, don't do that.
All right, this is huge
That
for
was a
Jason.
terrible play.
All right, so if you're gonna do it, you do it on his upkeep.
Sure. And if you're going to continue to draw these 3+ mana spells, you have 7 cards in hand. Next turn, if you draw another blank, you're going to get to discard this Lingering Souls
Sure.
and have a guaranteed draw the next turn.
Jason draws more land, and for a deck that's so, I mean, I think there's 18 or 19 lands in Jason's deck.
Right.
Hitting your first 5 land drops, I mean, what more do you want in life? All right, here you're just casting a Gurmag Angler, which is interesting. Chad can cut this if he wants to. He's got 2 mana and 3 cards in the bin, so
Yeah.
there goes the Gurmag Angler. Jason's going to draw 4 cards this turn. And boy, Jason just has to cast things so he doesn't have to discard them.
He's got a lot of land in hand, which is interesting. He's got a lot of removal as well. I mean, Chad's definitely behind, but a land into this Lingering Souls, and he's right back into this game.
Concur.
Cut right to the shot fish. Maybe lightning bolt.
Right.
Come on. Can I interrupt you? Take your turn.
Alright. So, Jason's just figuring out what the best path to victory here is. Alright.
All right, so
It
Tasker's
involves
strong
Tasker.
here.
Here's a Scavenging Ooze. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know that I would even cast that.
Alright, here's a Spell Snare.
I mean, I guess you have to. You only have 6 cards in hand now.
Right. Alright. A Counter Squall and a... Oh no, what was that?
Counter Squall and Mana Leak.
Mana Leak? Okay, I thought I saw Counter Squall. I didn't know if it was a different blue X card.
No, I think it was Oh, what the hell is that card?
Is it Charm?
And is it Static Caster?
Oh, the one I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Static Caster.
It's going to the yard, so we'll find out right now.
Not activate. I will do smart things that don't involve me milling the 2 cards that I want. And I'll terminate.
Alright, just terminate on the Scavenging Ooze. So Jason's interested in having both those cards.
Yeah, because is it Static Caster
Come on. Give me a chance.
shuts down, like, Chad's out here, which is Lingering Souls.
Right. Or really a land card.
You're no fun.
Comes in for 4. Chad down to, who knows, I think 7.
Well, now Jason gets to activate this Tasker twice.
So now we get Snapcaster, Spell Snare, activate Tasker once. If we get a Bolt back, we win. Nothing. Probably give him the terminate here. Gives him the EE.
So these tokens are not long for this world.
No.
They're killed multiple ways.
One.
These Serum Visions, try to dig for a bolt.
Put me out of my misery with all your lands.
Here's the Serum Visions.
Not a bolt. No bolts.
Why didn't you engineer explosives me for a bajillion?
There's a young Peasy on top, though. That'll really lock the game up.
Sure. I don't know that it's really locking the game up at this point, but
You see this? I drew these next to each other, these next to each other,
Here's a Mana Leak for the Goyf, and that's going to do it.
these next to each other. This is what you do.
So Jason Morgan takes it down on a very bad draw in game 2 from Abzan. So it was
I
kind
mean,
of a
it's not a
non-game.
great draw, but it was also bad play.
Would also mulligan the hand.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just bad all around for Durdle. He should be ashamed of himself.
All right, well, I wouldn't go that far, but if you want to make that indictment, John Douglas's words, not mine.
It's out there.
All right,
Indictment meant.
Okay.
stay